What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spotlight by CG Ruthless, man. Let's welcome my special guest from Indiana, cornerback Cedarius Doss, bro. How's it going, bro?
Going good, man. How's everybody doing?
Oh, doing so well, man. For those people who are not familiar with you, tell me about yourself, man.
Well, my name is Cedarius Doss. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. Raised in a two-parent home, mom, dad. Have two sisters. Have a great family, a big family on my mom's side, big family on my dad's side. Um, was a zero star out of high school. Only had like three offers out of high school. Ended up going and playing Division 2 right out of high school, and I ended up transferring and betting on myself. I walked on to a Division 1 LCS school at Austin P. End up earning a scholarship, end up earning All American and All Conference, and then last year I just played my last year at Indiana University.
Oh, that's a lot for a journey, man. So you went from like at least a lot of years. So you played through the COVID year, huh?
Yeah, I think I did. I think I did 6 years in college, if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 6 years. I couldn't keep count, man.
Must have been challenging during that year.
During COVID,
Yeah, during COVID to adjust with.
I would say just getting all the tests done, like the tests you had to do just to play in the games in a week. You had to get like two tests and pass them and positive. So that was very very different. Wearing masks, that was a new thing. Uh, Quarantine. I had COVID like one or two times, so just quarantine for 14 days, just being in the house by yourself. It sucked, but I mean, it's just a thing we all had to go through.
Yeah, we sure had to go through a challenge with all the adjustments and all that. So, what got you into football in the early part of your days?
Well, I was a three-sport athlete growing up. I played football, baseball, and basketball throughout my whole life, just about. And then my ninth grade year, I played all three sports, but I was never kind of at school, so it was kind of interfering with my grades. So the next year, my parents told me basically I had to choose like two sports so I could be able to be at school and actually learn stuff. So I ended up choosing 10th grade year, I did football and basketball. 11th grade year, I did football and track, and 12th grade year, I did football and track.
Okay, that does translate the way you play your position and all that stuff. So,
Right.
I mean, you were playing a different position. So, before you were playing cornerback, what position did you play before?
I just about played every defensive back. So I played safety, I played nickel, rover, whatever people want to call it, cornerback. So I done played all three just about throughout high school and throughout college.
Oh, so you got some versatility. I see, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of viable for the NFL, especially for any teams who want to plug in any other cornerbacks on different spots. You can play nickel, play the
Right.
outside, or maybe at times maybe free safety if they want to use you in different ways.
Right.
So like so when you went to like college, what was the most challenging part for you when you got into playing college?
Um, I would probably say just maintaining your time and like time management because I mean in high school it's very different. Like you're basically on your own. So like when I first went to college, I really didn't have a problem with it, but I would say that probably is the most challenging for most people. Just going there and being on your own time. Nobody's gonna hold your hand. Nobody's gonna make sure you make it to workouts on time. Nobody's gonna make sure you go to practice. Wake up for breakfast or lunch check-ins and nothing like that. So I think that was probably one of the biggest things transferring from high school to college.
Oh yeah, it can be that kind of adjustment because, like you said, there's nobody holding hands on you on that one. You have to go on your own and all that. So
Right.
you went from another college before, but you went to Austin, PA, which is pretty a solid program from what I'm looking at because you guys seem like a competitive roster. But what was
Mhm.
the experience when you went down to that program?
Well, Austin P. When I first got down there and then walked on, it was a new coach staff. Scotty Walden, by the name of Scotty Walden, he's at UTEP now. He was just not getting there. It was his first year there, and man, it was a lot of change that had to be made. It took us like I would say like 1.5, 2 years to get the program going back right and get it back like to a winning culture. I won back to back conferences there, so it took us like 1.5, 2 years, and then we ended up winning back to back conferences. Now he's at UTEP, man. So
Oh
it was
yeah,
a great experience. I mean, great brotherhood. It was a great chemistry, team chemistry there. We had a lot of guys from Alabama, so that was a good thing too.
yeah, that's a good camaraderie just to have a winning culture. Like you said, it didn't start off as winning, but then it became a winning culture as soon as you
Right.
left. So, what led you transfer into Indiana?
Well, so I have a person I call my brother. His name is Cordell Jackson. He's the reason I end up going to Austin in the first place. We played together in high school. We kind of grew up together, and I don't have a brother, so that's kind of like was my brother growing up. We're around the same age. and he made All American, consensus All American at all speed. He just got his jersey retired last year, this past season, so he kind of paved the way for me, and I just kind of I wanted to play with him again, wanted to be with him again, and I went up there, took a chance, and I end up earning All American, All Conference. But he pushed me throughout my 3 years that he was there, basically telling me that I need to beat his records, and he holds the records for the most interception in the season, all that type of stuff. So my goal was always to try to beat his records.
Yeah, that's kind of a goal you want to do is break somebody's record, of course.
Right,
But going to a college program that's always known as the college basketball kind of hoops, man, you would just think football wasn't quite a thing. But looking at that program, man, it was like they made the playoffs too. Let's be
right.
honest. I
Yeah,
mean,
Indiana, man. It was. I was just talking to some former teammates at OSP about a couple of days ago, and I was just basically just telling them, man, like I hope everybody that I know get a chance to experience like Power Five level and try to see like how it's ran, how it's, it's not very different from most people because they run it like a program, but like just to see different aspects, different ways of life, different coaching styles, and just all the things like that. It was it was very, very fun, man. It was different but fun.
yeah, you got to experience against better competition from what you
Right,
had the previous college, so it gave you some better preparation for the next level.
right.
I mean, for some guys, they should take advantage of going on the big stage so they can showcase those NFL teams that you can compete against the best, even though you came from a small school in the beginning, you know?
Yeah, man. That's what I usually tend to do, man. A lot of people look at my story and they see like I come from Division 2, then I walk on, and I made always a Power Five. So I just try to feed it to younger people or people in general to let them know that it can be done, man. All you got to do is put in the work and just trust in God.
Yeah, some of the advantage for the transfer portal could benefit for some guys, you know, maybe for the
Right,
purpose, like you said, you wanted to play against the best competition to prove otherwise.
right. And that was another thing when I was at OSP. Cordell had his last year. He had a chance to leave and go Power Five. I mean, he was a consensus All American, so everybody just about wanted him. But he ended up staying to play with me for his last year, and a couple of his former teammates that came in his class in 2016. And he just didn't want me to make the same mistake. He wanted me to have better opportunities and better um, yeah, just better opportunities for the league, man. So he just wanted he thought it was best in my best interest to leave and try to go Power Five, which is what I did. So that was a good thing, a good choice, and I'm glad that he was able in my life to be able to push me and kind of lead me in the way because I'm the first graduate in my family. So a lot of this stuff is kind of new to me. So he's been helping me out with that type of stuff.
I mean, that's a great way to put it, man. You're setting the foundation, and you said you're the first of your family to graduate in college, man. That's a huge honor, even outside of sports. That has to be a big deal for everybody else.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Oh, so I like this question for some players' perspective. What are some key difference between playing corner and safety? You know, some of it kind of has to come with different ways you cover.
Well, I would say the real difference between corner and safety would be probably cornerback is more technical because I mean most of the time at a Power Five level, we even if you're disguising, you're basically walking down and acting like you're playing man to man, like press man to man. So I mean, at safety, you're always off. You're rarely gonna find a team that brings their safety down with their man. So you have to be very technical, way more technical at corner than safety. Not saying that you don't have to be at safety, but cornerback, you really have to be detail oriented in your work, or you won't be a successful cornerback.
Oh yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense, especially for safeties. They had to be in certain, like they had to go at some point some deep coverages areas, and they had to communicate well. And
Right.
cornerbacks are like in their own coverage area where they had to go one on one with the receiver, or at least try to be assigned to that coverage.
Right, yeah. I mean, safety, they basically safeties slash linebackers. Some teams use their safeties as their quarterback on defense. Some teams use their linebackers. But man, I safeties last year, man. They had a tough job to do last year, man. I mean, the corner. I mean, we had to relay the calls, we had to relay the checks, we had to know just about everything. But luckily for me, I had to learn both corner and safety just about every week. So, I mean, I was pretty good with the checks and stuff like that. But it's a safety is more of a getting people in the right spot, and corner is basically like not letting your man catch the ball. Basically, I mean, it's a different. It's basically the same position, but it's different. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it seems different the way it seems like different kind of coverage ways. Like everything you do is different from cornerback compared to safety. There's different responsibilities for them. So it's like, but the difference of what your kind of experience is because you said you've got to experience bigger competition and you got a chance to
Hmm.
play in these big games. So going from a small college going to a what is it like a Big Ten school, the
Hmm.
experience of going to the playoffs, going with a team that actually became a top team in the rankings. They were a top team in the ranking. You guys made the playoffs, and you guys had a pretty good record that year.
Yeah, man. Like I said, when I was at, I mean, I'm not gonna say I've always been around winners. So like even when I was at Austin P, we made it to the playoffs. We won the conference championship. So like once I got to Indiana, I knew the standard. I knew what it took to win. I knew what it took to win games. I knew what it took to win championships and playoff games. So I mean, I think Coach Sid did a great job of bringing in a lot of veteran guys who've won games before and who's also played a lot of football. So we really didn't have any too many like miscommunications or people not showing up or people not doing the right thing because he brought in a lot of guys who does the right stuff. So I mean, throughout my life, man, I won state in high school, I won two at Austin P, and I just had a historical season in Indiana. So I just always been around winning teams.
Oh yeah, I mean you can't go wrong. Like even in Austin, PA, they got a pretty good set of rosters because I've interviewed some of those guys, and those guys are pretty hungry, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. I love Austin P. I love everything they done for me, man. It was a great 3 4 years. Sadly, I had to leave. I didn't really want to, but man, just I just had to better my situation and better my life for me and my family. So I mean, it's all love. I literally just left from there not too long ago, man. Stopped by there and see some of the coaches and some of the staff that I was cool with. So I mean, it's nothing but love. They always show me love. So I will always have a special type of love for Austin P State.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
commodity and all that. That they seem like more like hey, overlook us. We'll prove you wrong otherwise. But
Right.
have you met with any NFL teams?
I've met with a few after I had a good pro day on Tuesdays and I talked to a few of them basically just saying they might check my email and they will be probably send me local pro days and stuff like that. So I'm just working out, still maintaining working out, keeping my diet up, man, and just keeping trusting God, man, just letting my agents and stuff like that work for me and hopefully I get a chance to get in the league come April.
Oh yeah, for sure. So only just a couple teams.
Couple I talked to a lot of teams last year too, and our pro day is so early. It was like one of the first pro days I think. So I mean a lot of guys starting to reach out now that I had a good pro day. So it's been kind of crazy the last few days, man, just after pro day. So I'm just taking it one step at a time.
One step at a time for sure.
One
Has
step at
San
a time.
Francisco come to mind or no?
No, I don't think they've reached out yet. San Fran haven't reached out yet.
Probably
They
down the
may
road.
have. I haven't talked to my agent in a while. I mean, a few hours, so they might have. I don't know. Like I said, I've been on the road all day trying to come back from the pro day. I'm on currently on the way back home, so
Yeah.
I will call them probably first thing in the morning and kind of see who all's been hitting them up or been reaching out to try to talk to me.
Oh yeah, totally understandable, man. You got a lot on your schedule and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
why should NFL teams draft you, man?
Man, a lot of guys, man. Once they get into moments like this, I feel like some of them they get nervous and stuff like that. And man, my whole life I've been through adverse things. So my like a wise man once told me, man, the pressure is for the people that hasn't put in the work for it. So I mean, I've put in the work for it my whole life, man. I've been blessed and able to be able to accomplish a lot of goals in life. I'm a people's person. Everybody loves me, and I'm pretty sure nobody probably won't have nothing to say bad about me. And God has blessed me with tremendous talents, man. I mean, me being a 5'9" cornerback or defensive back, man, that's kind of I've been called undersized my whole life. So that basically been kind of like my drive and the thing that kind of pushed me the most when I'm kind of working out or playing football. Everybody always say I'm undersized, and I went from Division two all the way to Power Five. So I mean, that it really doesn't phase me now, man. I'm just playing football and doing what God blessed me to do.
Yeah, you play with a blue chip on your shoulder, even though, like
Yeah,
you said, you're undersized, but you've been doubted your whole life, so that kind of motivates you more. So,
right.
I mean, Like just from just outside of football, what is like your major like career path that you have in general? Just like another option.
Well, I graduated in health and human performance. My goal is to coach either high school or college once I'm done playing football. I always wanted to get in coaching, man, and every time I go back home from like the summer or anything like that, I go back to my high school and kind of, I ain't gonna say I help them out, but like I go up there and give my 2 cents, man, help those young guys out, man, and try to do as much as I can. And honestly, every time I go back, I just feel joy and peace in it. So I think that's what I'm probably gonna do once I get done playing football. It's probably coaching high school or college. I
Oh
really
yeah,
want
for
to be
sure.
really want to be a defensive coordinator, but I think I'll probably start off being like a position coach or something like that, and just kind of work my way up, man. Because eventually, I mean, I think eventually I'm gonna want to be a head coach too. So just taking it, man, step by step, man, and just trusting God, man, keeping my faith in God.
Yeah, I like that kind of mentality, but I'm pretty sure you'll have yourself a NFL career wherever you go. I'm pretty sure you'll have that, and that will come with your knowledge and all that stuff, and you can teach the younger ones what you've
Right.
done in the league before, and that can get them the advantage in some ways. I've heard you trash out the receivers like y'all wasting my time, y'all wasting my Saturday, y'all undisciplined, y'all never beat us, all of this stuff. Was that your favorite line or what?
Man, I honestly, when I'm in the game, I just kind of black out, man. I don't, some of that stuff, I be like, I really said that in the game. When I go back and watch those, I be like, I really said it in the game. But like, one thing with me, I never tolerated like disrespect or people just talking crazy or like, I remember when I was at Austin P, man, we had Friday night chats. Our coach used to come in there and literally just say what the other opposing coach used to tell us, talk about us in the during the week, during this little interview and stuff like that. And I think sometimes he used to just come in there and just say something crazy or make me mad because he knew once he said it, then it's on and popping. So I know I think that was UCA game when I said that, or UC may have been UCA game. That was conference championship, so we ended up winning that conference that day, and we end up tying with them the year before. So we both end up winning the conference. So it was just a lot of just built up animosity, man. They was like kind of a rivalry. And the year before that, they beat us bad, man. So I just wanted to get real, get back against them that team right there. But I knew a lot of guys on that team, man. Will McClavin, the quarterback. I knew the running back Colin James, all those guys, man. I'm pretty cool, with all those guys. But I mean, it was fun to playing against them, and it was probably one of our hardest team in our conference.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, I'm pretty sure you let your play do the talking also, but you're quite a trash talker yourself.
Yeah, man. I like to talk track. I mean, I feel like football just kind of it just relieves everything, man. I'm one of those guys, man. I don't really like to talk about much, but once I get on the field, I mean, I say a little stuff, but it's really nothing like everybody know, man. I'm a loving person, man. Once I get on the field, once I'm on the field, I can talk trash. I'm gonna be a leader. I'm gonna hold everybody accountable on our team. And once I leave the facility, man, I'm a happy guy. I'm playing the game, talking to my teammates, just having fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So even through the football field, I'm pretty sure you get this rarely. Like it's rare that you probably get something. How do you deal with a quitter who just walks off on the team and just doesn't give you guys no reason?
Um, I will probably say because I was a captain on my team in 2023. I probably only experienced somebody quitting maybe one time, and I didn't allow him to quit because my coach in college, Coach Scotty Walden, and all the coaches I really had throughout my life, they really football is kind of like a correlation of life. When I was at LCP, we had to be 15 minutes early to class, to practice, to weights, to everything. We had to sit in the front two rows. It was just stuff like that that people don't think that would help you in life, but it really did because if you always 15 minutes earlier to work, you would never be late. So I mean, I can't remember the exact situation, but we had a guy who kind of walked off on us, and coach was talking bad about him. I went and got him out the locker room and made him finish the workout. So I mean, I'm not a fan of quitters because especially for like men or young men's, when stuff get hard, man, stuff is going to get hard in life. So you don't never need to just quit or walk away from the situation. You need to find a way to be able to conquer it or get through it. That's how I feel when it comes to quitting.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
appreciate that from a guy who plays the game. So So even from you rarely get this from time to time, like sidelines altercation with teammates where they're kind of like not on the same page. How do you deal with something like that as a leader?
You talking about the opposing team or my
Just like
team?
teammates, just you get this little argument with teammates every now and then when it
Hello?
comes to miscommunication, all the other stuff. Like, hey, you could have did this coverage, or I had
Can you
this.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. No, but I was referring to like how do you deal with a teammates altercation where they're just not on the same page? How do you deal with it as a teammate? Like, like they're not on the same page. They're just arguing about a play or something. You know how it's like a thing with passion for teammates. They have emotional moments, but they kind of go out of an altercation. How do you deal with something as a teammate? Can you hear me? Oh, I think he's having some issues. Hey, hold up a second. He'll come back. I think he's just having some reception issues. Okay, he's coming back.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry, man. Oh, was you talking about the opposing team or my teammates?
Oh, your teammates. Like, let's say your teammates are not on the same page. You might get this very rarely. You
Uh
get
huh.
this in silence with teammates, but let's say they're not on the same page. Let's say one of your DBs is not on the same page. They're saying, "Hey, I need you to cover this side." Oh, hey, I was going to do that, or something like that. And then they go into an altercation. How do you deal with something like that as a teammate?
Um, that's a hard question because I think I only had one maybe altercation with that in my college career, my whole college career. Southern Utah game. I think it was Southern Utah game. We went in double overtime with those guys, and ended up winning. But I want to say in the first half, man, the defense was getting like we was getting pounded, man. They was gashing the ball down our throat. Um, and the back end was just not on the same page. So me and the other corner named Javon McCarver, he's at TCU now. And we had a safety name of Benji Johnson. He's at La Tech now. We was not on the same page, and he got to a point where he really couldn't. It was just too much. It was emotions involved. We was down losing 21-0. We wasn't on the same page. The coaches was getting on us, and he basically was like, "Bro, I don't even care no more." And I remember I go to my head coach. I'm like, Coach, I don't think he's ready to play this game. Like we're trying to come back and win, and he just don't have the same mindset as me. So I just think it just kind of depends on who the person is, man, and what's your role on the team. Because like I said, I was a captain then, so I was able to go to my head coach and kind of talk to him and tell him what's kind of going on mid game. But a lot of guys cannot just do that. So I just think you got to know know who the person is as a person, and just know who your coaching staff and who your head coach is, because you can handle situations all types of ways, man. That's just kind of how I handled that certain situation. I didn't feel like he was I didn't feel like he was mentally or emotionally ready to finish that game or be able to come back. I don't think he had the same mindset everybody else had. So we had to put somebody. He ended up starting the rest of the season, all that, but just for that game or in that moment, I just don't think he was going to help us or wanted to kind of come back just like everybody else wanted to.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's very reasonable. Oh, there's a good question from a guy who's played defensive back. He's a coach in his own mind. So I have a
Mhm.
question. One thing that the NFL presents a challenge for DBs. They are very, very picky about handsy and grabby. How would you adjust your game to avoid those type of penalties?
Well, honestly, man, I get this question all the time, and people ask me how do I guard like shorter receivers versus tall receivers. So if I'm in man and I'm press to press with a taller receiver, I tend to not even get hands on because, for one, they're bigger and longer, and I'm a shorter DB, so it's quicker for me to come out my brace than it is for them. So I tend to not like hand fight at the line because they're naturally just bigger, faster, and stronger. If they're like DK Metcalf and guys like that, man, who's 6'4" and 6'3" and they can run, you don't really want to play handsy with them at the line unless you're like 6'1", 6'2". The only time I really get hands on is with shorter guys because they're quick. So if you get hands on and you can control their route, most times, like by me being kind of undersized and by them being kind of undersized and short, playing slot or even playing outside, the refs not really going to guard. I mean, call flags like that. They tend to not call flags like that because we're both short. They really can't see both our hands unless it's just blatantly like a blatantly pass interference or something like that or holding anything like that. They tend to not really call it on shorter, like when you guard shorter guys. So like taller guys, I like to work with my feet, man, and beat them to the point of attack.
Okay, that makes sense. Like you said, shorter receivers, it could be more of an advantage for you to go against them more. But when it comes to a big receiver, that can be the most challenging part because they can see it right through you.
Yeah, and then you don't want to get in a hand fight with guys like that because they can beat you off your. I mean, they can push you off where you want to be at. They can use their hand, they can use their body. So I tend to like to use my feet. Like they run the fade, I like to be top down and just kind of play back shoulder because I can look at the ball and I can be able to feel him face to face guard. You really don't want to just be running hip to hip with guys like DK Metcalf and stuff like that. You want to be able to get inside his body and be able to play through his hands because if not, he's going to more than likely he's going to be able to push off or use his body to catch the ball.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to put it because it comes with these adjustments with the league because it's kind of hard to like at times they're just going to throw penalties for some reason because of how you guys cover. But
Right,
I've noticed that some cornerbacks, if they look towards the ball, more than likely they won't call a penalty if you look towards the ball instead of going right towards them or something.
right, and I think the major difference that will probably be between college and the league is those guys in the league have mastered like the ball in the air, so they might jump way before the ball get there just so you can get a pass interference or a holding call or something like that. So I think it's kind of like a 50-50 thing, man. But I think those guys in the league, they have perfected like the ball in the air. Sometimes they jump early or they do late hands. Like you just have to out that would probably be one of the things I would have to probably better myself at. Being able to learn my receivers and how they want to catch the ball late or want to jump early to try to draw fast. It's just that'll be probably like a game plan week to week thing though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I guess he likes this answer because he coaches his own kid on how to do that because he plays that position, so he kind of appreciates that. So, who do you model your game after? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure you watch a lot of film from all these players from the NFL. You have to at least like emulate some of their style of play or something.
Well, I'm gonna say a guy I like Pat Surtain, but a lot of comparisons that I get that he's not in the league no more. But Bob Sanders, who played for the Colts, I get a lot of comparisons to him because I mean he was a shorter DB. He was like around my same height and weight, and he was pretty fast, but he was a downhill and he can cover. So a lot of teams, well, a lot of when I was in the Porter last year, a lot of guys kind of compared me to him. So I kind of started watching his game, watching his film, and I would probably say that's probably a guy I kind of look up to because we kind of imitate each other.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can't go wrong with that guy because that guy was built like a. He looked like
Yeah, yeah,
Jack.
yeah, man. Yeah, I'm a workout monster, man. When I'm working out, and when I was in Indiana or at LSP, I always try to compete with like linebackers and D line. They be like, "That's it." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll put some more weight on that just for you, man." I be trying to compete with linebackers and D lineman, man. I always wanted to be kind of big because when I was younger, I wasn't small, but I was pretty small, a pretty small defensive back in high school. So I always wanted to have like muscles and like abs and all that type of stuff. So I love like working out and doing all that type of stuff.
All right, for sure. So we'll answer a couple questions from DB again because I guess because he likes
Mm.
something with cornerback. What techniques do you like when you're going against the receivers? Be straight up or show leverage by guarding the inside?
Can you say that one more time?
What technique do you like when you're going against the receivers? Be straight up or show leverage by guarding the inside?
Um, and man, it just all depends on down the distance, who we playing against, what the concepts they like to run, all the different downs, like third or fourth down. Some teams like to run smash concepts, some teams like to run miss. So, I mean, it all depends on the down and distance and the concepts of the film that I've watched that whole week. Like sometimes like if I have safety help, I might show outside and slide inside. Or if I don't have safety help, I might slide inside and show outside because I know I have linebacker help. It just kind of depends on the defensive scheme and basically the concepts that I've basically watched film on the whole week. Man, it all just depends on who I'm playing against and what type of concepts they really play.
Well, that's a good answer right there.
Yeah.
So, would you rather play man to man press or zone?
I I'm gonna say this because I get that question a lot too. I'm very, very good in zone, but I like playing man because every time I'm a man and I'm pressed down, or even if I'm off and they know I'm a man, they see a 5'9" defensive back out there, they're going to try you. So that's how I end up becoming an All-American, all-comers. Guys, guys in the first 5 or 6 games, they liked to try me because we played a lot of man and a lot of quarters at off speed. And after them first 5 to 6 weeks, man, they just kind of stopped. So that I would probably say, man, because that's when I get the most attention. That's when I can really showcase what I can do against taller or anybody, any Power Five or any conference receivers.
Oh, okay, so in Indiana, what kind of coverage did you do in Indiana?
We ran a lot of we ran a lot of different variations of a lot of stuff, man. Our game plan changed week to week. We had a different game plan for everybody. So it, like I said, it just kind of depends on who you playing against. But if I was playing man to the field, we're playing 7 yards, 6, 7 yards off. But we ring 3 step, all that type of stuff. And if we're in the bounds, we're basically playing press just about every play. Even if you're not in man, you basically pressing in disguise and coverage. So I mean, it just depends on who you playing against. Like I said, we had a different game plan for every single week. It would literally change every week. We may have bring a few calls over to the next week, but it wasn't too many.
All right, that's a good way to put it. I guess one last question, and that's going to be it for us. And then I'll throw in like like two rapid fire questions, then we're done.
Okay.
So the one thing that I'm in the NFL is that there are teams that like to throw back shoulder fades. How would you defend it?
Like I said, man, when I'm man to man, when I'm guarding a back shoulder, man, a lot of guys or a lot of teams will more than likely throw that against me because I'm a shorter DB, so they will want to place the ball where the receiver can use his body. However, I've played against it for 5, 6 years now, so I mean, I'm not gonna say I've mastered it, but I've gotten way better in guarding like back shoulders and all that type of stuff. It's just reading the receiver's shoulders, reading his eye demeanor, man, and making sure your eyes are in the right spot because the receiver eyes are going to tell you basically whatever he's doing. So it's just about having discipline in your eyes and be able to know when he's turning his shoulders or when he's going for a back shoulder or he's going for over the shoulder catch.
Oh yeah, I like that because you said
Yeah.
you worked on it first, so
Yeah.
it definitely gets you like more prepared anyways because you've adjusted to it. So what's
Right.
one thing that you have to like all those years in college? What are you looking to improve going into the NFL that you need to work on the most?
Um. I mean, man, you a defensive back, man. You can always work on your feet, man. I mean, some guys might name Pat Surtain or J.C. Horn like technicians, but at the end of the day, when you're playing cornerback, it's always something that you can work on. It's always something you can be doing, so you can be a great cornerback. So I would probably say just continue to build on like my feet work and like back shoulder phase or like working some nickel and like guarding like slot phase and working on releases and stuff like that. And that's basically what I've been doing over these past 3, 4 months training for the draft. Just working both safety slot and corner, man. Just going over releases, concepts, all those type of things.
All right, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, because you want to work on your footwork, of course. You want to be able to do well in your coverage and all that stuff, and
Right.
you want to be able to quickly adjust to all those receivers. So, okay, so two rapid fire questions, and then we're done from here. So, let's go with McDonald's or Burger King if you had to choose.
I don't really eat fast food like that, but if I had to choose, I would probably say McDonald's.
Okay,
McDonald's.
okay.
Yeah,
So
McDonald's.
for like, I guess if you had to choose between Coke or Pepsi, what would you get?
Yeah, I don't really drink drinks either, man. I would just say Coke just because my mama like Diet Coke, man. That probably would be the only reason I drink because I don't really drink drinks like that. So I'd probably just say Coke just because my mom loves Diet Cokes.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fair answer, but outside of football, what are you as a person? And we're good from here.
I'm a people's person, man. I'm a family oriented guy, man. Like I said, I have a big family, and unfortunately, I'm everybody's favorite cousin and favorite nephew. I love my family, man. A big people's person. I like going out and giving back to people who gave to me and like going back and helping the community out, man. Because being from Birmingham, Alabama, it could be a little rough, man. And a lot of people don't get the opportunities that I have. So I just think it's best in my interest just like give back and give all the knowledge and wisdom that God has blessed me with. Just knowing that everybody that won't get the chance that I've got.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But definitely appreciate your time, man. good luck on your NFL journey. I'm definitely rooting for you to succeed. So whatever happens,
Yes,
whether
sir.
you come to the Niners or not, if you do come to the Niners, I got to give you a second appearance, man, just for the faithful to know who you are.
Right.
But in
That'd
all
be great,
seriously,
man.
dude, it's all about that journey. It's all about that process. Wherever you go, just take advantage and never let it up. For those people who want to find you on social media platform, where can they find you at?
I be on Instagram probably the most. So my Instagram is 205 DADA. My Twitter is DADADOSS1, and them really the only two ones I kind of be on, man. So thanks for everybody watching. Thanks for you having me, man. And I would definitely contact CJ and let him know that you want to do one with him too.
Oh yeah, for sure. For everybody else, this is Indiana's cornerback Cedarius Doss. Man, go check him out. Don't let his size fool you. This guy is a dog. This guy plays at a high level, man. He played at the best competitions ever got to offer, man. But go check him out. And everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in. And
Thank you.